The state of New Jersey is home to many mysteries, such as that of the Jersey Devil. But one creature reported to live in Hackettstown is so bizarre that it gives even the devil a run for its money. Welcome to Cryptid Corner, the series all things cryptids, and today we are going to look into the Mantis Man of New Jersey. The Mantis Man is a gargantuan creature that is said to inhabit the Musconetcong River in the Hackettstown area of New Jersey. As its name implies, the Mantis Man resembles a mantis in appearance, with large eyes, wings, and folded arms with a dark green to brown coloration. But unlike a normal mantis, the Mantis Man is said to stand far larger than that of a man, around 7 to 8 feet tall, and was always spotted near or in a river, standing with a human-like posture. The Mantis Man is also described as having a transparent type of skin, being able to phase in and out of visibility if need be. But as terrifying as the Mantis Man may appear and sound, the creature is rather skittish, typically fleeing when approached by people. The Mantis Man is a relatively new legend, with the earliest known reports originated from online blogs in the 2010s, with sightings occurring in the early 2000s, with our first encounters being said to take place in 2006. A fisherman would go fly fishing near the Stephen State Park, when he would notice a huge mantis-looking figure standing in the river. The fisherman was startled, but what stood out to the man was that the mantis seemingly was just as shocked as he was, vanishing from the scene. After this encounter, the fisherman would report this encounter to paranormal researcher Lon Strickler, who had made this encounter known in 2011. Sometime after this first encounter, another fisherman would be in the area when he too would come face to face with the Mantis Man, noting that the creature was hard to focus on, as if it was blurred out in real time. Upon being noticed, the figure would flee off into the woods. These encounters would be covered in the 26th episode of Monsters and Mysteries in America, a series that investigates many cryptids and legends from across the country, looking into multiple legends in a single episode. Sometime after this episode would air in 2015, there would be yet another sighting of the Mantis Man. A man would be driving home from the drugstore, and while looking down at the Musconetcong River from atop a bridge, he would spot a tall humanoid figure in the water. But upon further examination, he could tell that whatever he saw, it was not a human, resembling an 8-foot-tall brown mantis with transparent skin. At first, the man would be skeptical of the sighting, thinking of it just to be a mirage or perhaps a branch in the water or something. But upon telling this to his co-worker, he would be told of the story of the prior sightings and the legend of the Mantis Man in the Hackettstown forum. Now, the Mantis Man is quite the interesting entity when it comes to folklorish creatures, and the explanations as to what it could be are also quite out there. So, in Cryptid Corner fashion, we just gotta look at the wackiest ones first. Many believe the Mantis Man to be some sort of alien, citing its bizarre appearance, ability to seemingly cloak itself, and cautiousness around people as key indicators that whatever it is, it may be extraterrestrial. Such a large creature being able to just vanish like that would probably require some advanced technology if it doesn't already possess the best camouflage ever. But if the Mantis Man was some sort of alien, like a bizarre variant of Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, then what is this creature doing skinny dipping in a river in New Jersey? I mean, like, wouldn't it have other stuff to do? Some have also theorized that Mantis Man is some sort of scientific experiment gone wrong, mixing man and mantis genetics to create an imposing yet timid creature. And from there, it was either released with no expectation of survival, or, interestingly, escaped containment, where it forever hides from people scared that scientists will capture it. The science experiment gone wrong archetype of urban legend is a very interesting one to me, being inspired from comic books, horror stories, and some actual experiments that did go wrong and that we could, perhaps, cover in a video in a further date, maybe? But I doubt that the Mantis Man is some sort of science experiment gone wrong, as scientists successfully creating something like that at this moment, even if they had like insanely advanced technology in secret, is insanely impossible. And when it comes to finding a natural explanation as to what the Mantis Man could be, it leaves even more mysteries. For starters, this thing cannot be an actual mantis, who at largest can only reach sizes of about 18 inches in length, let alone 8 feet tall. This size would be impossible due to the mantis's breathing systems, which, like other insects, lacks lungs, instead relying on a network of tracheae that delivers oxygen throughout the body. This breathing system would require a ridiculous amount of oxygen for the mantis to even exist at this size. The only thing close to a bug that I could think of from a speculative biology standpoint could be that this is some sort of crab that adapted to life on land similar to that of the coconut crab, who can only breathe air and has to live on land but requires moisture to live. Perhaps a crustacean had evolved a similar body shape to a mantis and eventually achieved an absolute gargantuan size, sticking to the waters of New Jersey for moisture and for food, but evolving gills so that it can wander inland if need be. And yeah, you heard me right, gills, because coconut crabs have gills, lungs. A thought also crossed my mind that these sightings could have been of a wet owl standing on a tree out in the water or something. Like, I mean, given the weird eyes and maybe the limbs, maybe the limbs could have just been its wings and it's like all like wet and stuff. Like, if you ever seen a wet owl, they look weird as hell. If you've just seen like an owl without their feathers, they look extremely weird. I don't know. Ultimately, I was just kind of thought of that, because owls are weird as hell. Ultimately, though, I don't think the Mantis Man is a real thing. It just seems so unlikely that such a large creature could live in such a populated area undetected for such a long amount of time. If something this big was out in the woods of New Jersey, I think people would know about this by now. People would go missing, or enough people would come across this thing, just going out fishing like the other fishermen did, that this thing would be found at some point. The Mantis Man of New Jersey is a truly interesting legend to think about, and will certainly go down as a standout story in modern folklore and New Jersey folklore in general. An alien, a science experiment gone wrong, a eurypterid, a water bug, a land bug, or a big ass bird, it's all just really fascinating to think about. But in the end of the day, I don't think that such a creature exists in the waterways of our world. However, in the mythical land of New Jersey, a massive mantis is just another occurrence up there with all the ghosts and devils that inhabit the only state in the Union where you can't pump your own gas. And that's going to do it for the Mantis Man of New Jersey. This was a very interesting topic to look into. Of course, I haven't really heard much about the Mantis Man, but I always just kind of knew it was a thing, but I haven't really looked into it until now, and it's a very interesting cryptid for sure. Like, nothing, like, I don't know, you wouldn't expect a big ass mantis in New Jersey, but then again, there's just so many urban legends and cryptids and stories in New Jersey that I'd like to cover at some point. I'd like to cover the other ghost stories, in the state, because there's tons of ghost stories from the Pine Barrens outside of the Jersey Devil that I'd like to cover at some point. But what did you think about it? Do you really think that a mantis-like creature could be living out there? I personally don't think so. Did you like the coconut crab reference? I just kind of pulled that. Wow. I didn't even look into that. I just kind of remembered the Jabba Fofi explanation. I was like, wait a minute, let me pull out the good old coconut crab. But again, what did you think about it? Make sure to comment down below. I always love reading the comments. I always love the suggestions, just reading the comments. The jokes are funny all the time. But again, make sure to like if you like the video, subscribe if you like the content. If you want to be a real one, you could become a member and get videos a little bit early. And you could also be immortalized with all the high quality spinning food and the gelatinous beluga. But I'm going to go ahead and go though. Make sure to definitely leave a suggestion down below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.